Hello and welcome to round two of GP Kaina City. I forgot to start recording before I entered the match. We are playing against who else but my nemesis, my rival, Lee. Um, Lee is 1-0 with a fair-looking green-red ramp deck, which is really not something I was prepared for. Um, we both have quite limited sideboard options for each other, but that's a story for later. For now, we'll see how it goes. I have actually no idea how good this matchup is. We both have some cards the other player has a lot of trouble dealing with. Well, I guess we on the play. I like that. Okay. This hand goes turn 1, chart the Cosmo, turn 2, countermeasures, turn 2, crack map, crack chart, turn 3, countermeasures, turn 4, offset. Oh, no, it doesn't. It has a tap land. But no, it does because chart the Cosmos probably gets me an untapped land. I think I keep this. I don't have early interaction, but the only things I really need early interaction for are Husk Forger and what is the name of that card? Lightning Warmonger. Um, so I think I do keep this. Okay. Deafen Clearing's not at its best in this matchup, but it's possible I'll find a target. Okay, turn 1. No Husk Forger. Excellent. Love to see that. If I could just draw a counterspell. Primal Fissure. Okay, not bad. I have double blue. I need double white at some point. So this is Primal Fissure for planes. Crack chart. Don't give away any information. Sounds like a plan. Okay, with no Husk Forger, there's not that much threatening they can do to me on turn 2. They're still in setup mode, which is good. If they want turn 1 Husk Forger, turn 2 Lightning Warmonger, they could activate it before I could get to 3 mana for my answers. But now I think I'll keep pace. Lee really likes the Airs in the West non-full art basics, which I quite like them too. Good to see that. Any play on 2? They don't have a ton of turn 2 plays, to be quite honest, so this could actually just be the whiff. Finds Forest, means possible Aurora in hand, didn't find Mountain. Kynox Ley Pillar. That's perfectly fine by me. This card is not hugely relevant in this matchup. They could get value off it, but this is not the kind of value I care about enormously. Milled this way. Okay, so they're going to get probably Warden of Tremors. Probably. That's the card I'm more scared of by far. Okay. But they're actually thinking about it. What does that tell me about their hand? They already have a thing to ramp into if they're not taking Warden. And they don't have more ramp spells. That's why they're considering taking a ramp spell over a payoff. But they take Warden of Tremors regardless. I have 2 planes in my deck, so I can do this. And not countermeasures, not passive scales, not overrule sought, not offset demon, not clash at Mystic Veil, not deafening clarion. Come on. Where's the lands? What? No. Oh, Rousing Path. There it is. Well, I just put 12 non-land cards in the bottom of my library. Wow, that's unlikely. Note to self: they have Warden of Tremors, a 6 mana card, in their hand, and I don't really have an answer to it right now, other than I hoped I get to Silent Lakefront by then. This is just land, leave up countermeasures, cycle, rousing path. I don't think anything else useful I can do with my life. I kind of almost want to crack the Silent Lakefront because I want to shuffle those back into my deck. I mean, it's like a quarter of my deck I know is non-land cards on the bottom. That like is actually significantly affecting my chances of drawing gas. But Silent Lakefront is actually a relevant card I can have up on 4, so probably not the best use of my time to crack the Silent Lakefront, but very funny. Yeah, I guess in the top 36 cards of my deck, I know there are. I'm playing a 25 land deck. 5, 6, 7, 8. I know there's 17 lands in the top 36, so about 50% lands. I'm 10% more likely to draw a land, 10 percentage points more likely to draw a land because that just happened. That's very odd. Luckily, they seem to be decently far away from actually casting um, Warden of Tremors. Nothing relevant in their graveyard right now, or in mine. Untapped Urban Jungle, paying the life. Lightning Warmonger. Okay, options. Countermeasures that right now, or untap Clarion. So their threatening cards start on 5. They don't have a threatening 4 I care about. It starts with Aurora 5 and then the Warden on 6. So I want to use Clarion here because I don't want to tap out for and Clarion later. It's a less useful card. I'll just cycle Rousing Path. Yeah, more lands. That's basically what I should expect after what just happened. More Offset Demons. Clarion. Lands in Graveyard 2 for Aurora. If they play Aurora next turn, I'm actually not quite sure what I have to. I guess I just countermeasure it and let them ramp a ton. It's not great, but I have to keep Silent Lakefront earmarked for their. Okay, they just play a malfunctioning portal, isn't? Okay, not that threatening. Do they hit a land drop? Yes, it's Ardent Rise. Okay, so the next turn is actually interesting for me. So I could play Offset Demon, either of them, and start pressuring their life total. They don't have a good way of removing Offset Demon main, right? They don't. They have Golden Bloom main, which they could get, but is a significant resource for them. They do not have a Crucible main. Okay, let's see. If they go Aurora, would I Lakefront it? That's tough. The problem with if I do that, I don't have an answer to the follow up. So what I should But the fact that they were considering not taking Warden earlier makes me think that it's quite likely they have a roar. But if I can't Lakefront it anyway because I need to save Lakefront for Warden, then I shouldn't bother leaving up Lakefront anyways. I should just offset, and if they force my hand, I can. Oh, thing is, like if I offset and then they are roar, then I countermeasures it on my turn, and then I don't have Lakefront up anymore. Actually, really tough. hmm. Yeah, if I offset and they roar, I countermeasures. Then if they have the land, which seems quite likely, they haven't missed one yet, I don't have Lakefront up. Does that mean I have to tap land here? Getting these offset demons down early is actually quite important. Yeah, opponents think they might have passive scales, which I probably would just run out. That's enough value, but offset demon is less value. But like that also means okay, so like tap land go, they play a roar, I countermeasure it. They have a ton of mana. Next turn I have to pass with Lakefront. I'm not making progress. And they have tons of lands. The fact that they fetched that forest with their Primal Fissure I mean, I think they might have just had the Urban Jungle in hand, so they don't need more than one red source. That's just a default good play. But it really makes me suspicious that Aurora might be coming. All three of the lands in graveyard are fetch lands, so Aurora is going to get multiple triggers. I think this is the choice of the game. Offset Demon or pass. If I offset Demon and they have a roar, I'm in bad shape. If I offset Demon and they don't have a roar, I think I'm in pretty good shape. If I don't offset Demon and they have a roar, I'm actually not in great shape anyways. I countermeasures their play, I lakefront their play, but then I'm out of answers. But then, like, what does offset Demon do? It just pads life totals, right? Maybe yeah. I mean, like, they played Malfunctioning Portal last turn. They wouldn't have done that if they had Crumbling Tower, Vows Reflection, even like Stella's Journal, Ring of Promise Vows, anything good. Term. So, like, Aurora is super likely. Like, what else is in their hand other than lands and Aurora? So just planes go. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't really have another option here. I think it's better than the alternative. I kind of need to draw something, is really the situation here. Temple? Oh, no Aurora. Tapland. You should choose white blue with that. They're the best colors. Okay, so maybe I misread them. Or maybe they have the Aurora but not the untapped land. Well, this actually worked out quite poorly for me. Eltanon. Eltanon matters a lot. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Tap land. Okay, here's how I can get ahead of things. With 7 mana, I can offset plus countermeasures. And Eltanon means I actually have. Eltanon can be for X equals 5 next turn. So say a roar, I can do that. But then I couldn't silence. Lakefront being my only answer to the big guy is a problem. Well, next turn they certainly can cast um, the big guy, so I have to be ready for that. Breaking serve here is going to be hard, but I am hitting land drops. If I wasn't hitting land drops, I would have to panic. I don't really know how I'd get out of this, but the fact that I'm hitting land drops means I have outs. I'm okay letting things progress. You gonna do nothing? What I really want is like seafloor treasures. Some way to make progress while my opponent is kind of forcing me to keep the silent lakefront all the time. Ugh. It looks like Offset Demon would have been the play. I just read them. I read them for that Aurora. Maybe I read them wrong. Maybe they have it though. They could have it and just not play it because they think I have lakefront. Which would be very weird, but could be. Okay, this is good. Because that means I don't have to leave up quite as much mana now. If they have a second one, that's bad. Really quite bad. Scale time. I wish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now the choices don't end. Because I can play Offset Demon. Okay, so here are the options. I could play Primal Fissure, because then I have Eltanon X equals 6 up for follow-up Warden of Tremors. Um, which is quite a yeah. Eltanon. Wow, I might have to Eltanon big enough to hit my own Offset Demon, which is annoying. I can also Offset Demon leaving up countermeasures, which would be a good thing if they play Aurora, or like generally anything, because countermeasures would be corrupted then. I guess I shock in Lucent Basin to have up the countermeasures, And I accept I'm not going to have Elton on X equals 6. Opponent's complimenting my designs, which I appreciate. No, it's Primal Fissure, right? Because the situation has changed because I don't have Silent Lakefront in hand anymore. If I offset Demon, they are Roar, that's fine. I countermeasures on my turn. It doesn't reduce my options because I have the mana. Tapped Primal Fissure, but I do want to have the answer available if I need it to. Is it attached anymore? Attach it to B, I guess. Because next turn I can crack. If they play Warden of Tremors, they get to play a bunch of lands and exile a bunch of cards, but then I get to Elton on them back. Also, my opponent keeps thinking I might play Passive Scales, but they know three of my Passive Scales are in my bottom 12 cards, because I put them there with the chart token, so they shouldn't be that afraid of it. Worst case scenario here is Warden of Tremors. Aurora is also pretty bad, but less bad. But also, like, these offset demons, they're shocking that in. What do they have? Aurora, leave up mana for counterspell. That's what this is. Okay. I can present two-turn lethal here? That might be what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm also 2 mana off of Hardcast Eltanon. They've been 1 land. Keep 2 on top. Oh, right. I forgot about the Aurora Ardent Rise interaction. The Surveil never gets some card selection because Ardent Rise always forces them to shuffle. You cannot avoid shuffling when you have Ardent Rise plus Aurora. That's like a weird situation that comes up. You have to shuffle. You can't choose not to find or not to search. They get their mountain. Those are tapped. Yeah. This is tapped. All the cards you get back from Aurora are tapped. I would not like to draw a land right now. I'd like to shuffle my library very much. Go get a land. I have triple blue. I need mountain, actually. I'm about to cast a red spell. Chart the Cosmos. Okay. Yeah, this is countermeasures your Aurora. Offset Demon hit you for 6. Put both of the overflows on B. And actually, they don't have a great way of stopping from killing them from that position. They cannot interact with my graveyard main deck. They can't gain life main deck. They can't present a reach or flying blocker main deck. They can Golden Bloom on Offset Demon to prevent it from having flying and haste, but then I can Elton on to remove the Golden Bloom. So I actually think this is fairly airtight. And I can also chart the Cosmos and shock in a Lucent Basin. Let's do that first. Clearing, that's useless. Countermeasures Aurora. Huh? Oh, right. I forgot about this thing. I forgot this is 2 to activate its instant speed. I actually think this doesn't super matter, but I obviously should have just, like... Okay, Roar just comes back. honestly doesn't do much. Just ramps some. But I don't think they can kill me from here, not with the 6 life I'm about to gain. Oh yes, Terminal Impact is exiled now. Okay. Whatever, they're gonna ramp some more. That's okay, they have infinite mana at this point. I should just left up countermeasures. I forgot how Portal works. But like even remove spell on Offset Demon doesn't do it because I put both overflows on B. They need to remove Offset Demon and stop overflow. Can they remove overflow main deck? I don't see a way for them to do that. No, this is guaranteed. Fail to find. That's all their. Is that all their basics? I'm happy all their basics. They have 6 forests. So they could have found if they wanted, right? Yeah, that's only 4 on the battlefield. Or do they have 2 forests in hand? Is that what's happening? Okay. Offset Demon. Overflow Revolution style. Put here. Attack for 6. Lifelink. I don't believe they have outs here. Even with like infinite mana and an Aurora and a Portal in play, they have to kill me this turn because they cannot stop me from killing them any other way, I think. Okay. Okay. Yep. They get all the landfall triggers. That's tapped. Oh, they find the Golden Bloom. They can Golden Bloom name Offset Demon, but I have Elton on. Rings is tapped. Golden Bloom doesn't. They have to Golden Bloom on Offset Demon. That's obviously how they. Oh right, they failed to find so they could find with Warden in play. Smart play. Smart play. A bunch of cards that don't matter. That's the one of Golden Bloom. They can't do more, and they have no instance to stop me from Elton on him. And they can't kill the Offset Demons. I have Overflow. They can't interact with my graveyard. They have no way of doing that. Main or board. No, the Crucible board. They can't do that main. They can't terminal me for enough to matter. Not from 30 they can't, even with all the mana they have. Yeah. I don't think they have an out, which is wild. With an Aurora and a Warden in play. They're going to play Golden Bloom, because obviously that otherwise they're dead on board. If they had a creature with flying or reach in their deck or a Crucible, I'm assuming that they just win here. But they don't. Also, I think the fact that I put Overflow on the first Overflow on program B is winning me this game. Like if I put the first Overflow on any other program, they can kill both my offsets probably with like 2 terminals or something. And and then I only get one of them back and they live. Where are they? Okay. None of these cards. Kind of Play Pillar is very tall, but it doesn't have reach. Trigger first. Not optional. So, right, Warden Charms, Aurora and Warden Charms, neither are optional. So they're at 16 cards in life. Look at this. They can play any card they want from their entire deck, but they do not have the answer. Oh, there's Crumbling Tower, yeah. This is actual fail to find. They have nothing to find. They can play any of these cards. Oh, very funny. The Exiled and Ardent Rise. That's not casting. You can play those cards, but Ardent Rise's channel ability is not playing. Also, they don't have 5 mana. But that's actually one of their few ways of killing off that demon. Whoop, they're casting Husk Forger. Sure, go ahead. They just gotta, yeah, they need blockers actually. Even for the ground versions, they need blockers. Man, don't forget about Eltonon. They're putting them dead to just like 3 removal spells, which is not unreasonable for me to have. Okay, they untap with most of their lands in their deck on the battlefield. Increase Chrysaris, sure, remove. Add white, 1, 2. X equals 2. He took a game off lead. That doesn't happen to me very often. Okay. Fateful Ascents in. Deafening Clarions out. Clash at Mr. Vale is not super relevant. The 1/1s are unlikely to do that much. One Golden Bloom in. Clarion out. Clash out. Clarion's also not like that. And it did something that game, but it's not that relevant. Probably more relevant than Clash. And then probably putting a Sizz Call, or maybe a second Golden Bloom. Sizz Call over Clarion. I think this is the layout. Shock does have targets. It might be better than Ukus, to be honest. Is that true? Is Shock better than Ukus Crusaris? They don't have anything with exactly 3 toughness. All of their threats, by the way, they have nothing in their sideboard for me. They have Crucible, which they could bring in. I don't enormously care. Advance of Fire and Fate doesn't have any targets. Purifier, Artifact, or Enchantment. You don't have any of those. Rosons, not much. Oh, Crumbling Tower's coming in. The fact that Crumbling Tower's coming in makes me want the more Golden Blooms, actually. I don't need the Sizz Call. And do I want Shock over Ukus? They have nothing with exactly 3 toughness that I care about. It all has 1 or 2. Yeah, 2 Ukus out, 2 Shock in. Okay. Oh, this is a nice hand. Very nice. Got Eltonon, got Fateful Ascent, got Overrule Sought. Great cards to have. Yeah, easy keep. I think this matchup actually might be a little unfavored. I was not prepared for this matchup. I really should have more Fateful Ascent in the sideboard. But being up a game, and this is a pretty good hand. Turn 1, Chart the Cosmos. Turn 2, leave up Overrule Sought, or Seafloor, or crack Chart, depending on what I draw. If I draw lands, I crack. If I use Seafloor, if I don't draw lands, I use Chart. 7. They keep 7 this time. Fissure. Husk Forger? Husk Forger. Okay, that's scary. If they have the Dream Curve, I'm going to be slightly too slow. That's just the way of things. Chart the Cosmos. Draw. Okay. Like, if they get out slightly ahead of me, if it's Warmonger this turn, then I'm in trouble. Am I in trouble? Maybe Overrule Sock gets there in time. It's actually possible. Is it 8 basics? Okay, they just ramp with Ursus Majora. Certainly not very likely this Overrule Sock misses next turn, but not guaranteed. They got a bad 7-drop in exile. Basin. Fissure. I have double white, double blue coming up, so this can get plains, I believe. Okay, they've done a lot of ramping, so what I need to do is answer their threats. I have 3 good answers to threats. Overrule Thought, Faithful Sin, Clash. Priority is finding a target for Overrule Thought. They're going to do their best not to give me one. Vow's Reflection. Interesting. Obviously, I can't counter that. The question is, do I want to Fateful Ascent it? It kind of draws them cards over time. But it's also something I could try to clean up with an Elton on later. Okay, let's think this through. What's my plan next turn? Okay, let's math this out. If I Fateful Ascent this right now, they get the chart, which they can crack, which is annoying. Next turn, I probably I'm doing some card draw stuff, like I'm Seafloor Overrule Thought, and they'll have 5 mana. Maybe I can Overrule Thought their first big thing, and then I can Clash their second big thing. Maybe I crank Chart. It's Chart, not Seafloor, right? Because I do need a 5th land for this Clash pretty urgently. I don't want to have to take a land off Seafloor. Yeah. And I want to crack the chart before Elton happens. The question is, do I want to Elton on 4 and try to deal with Vow's Reflection that way? The answer is no, because on 4, that's the turn that they could first have a roar available. No, they couldn't. They have 2 non-green sources. So this turn, Vow's Reflection. Okay. I have to math this out. This is important. This turn, Vow's Reflection. Pick up Husk Forge or whatever. Assuming they don't have any more ramp. Next turn, they play Forest. Next turn, my turn 3. Their turn. Because, right, they haven't played a land this turn, right? No, they haven't. They have played a land. So this turn they could play Green Source. This is not a one for under control deck. This turn they could play a Green Source. Vow's Reflection, then immediately play a Green Source. Then untap. Then on my turn, yeah, I can't. If I Elton I leave myself open. So I think this is Fateful Ascent. I think. Actually, kind of tough. Because I want to save Fateful Ascent for something really big. But I guess this is something. I want to Elton something small. On my turn 4, I will Elton and then they'll have turn 6, and then they might be able to Warden. But Warden doesn't do an enormous amount if I can kill it immediately. I think I'm going to try to catch this in a Elton. I can let them draw some cards. It'll slow them down. I'll be drawing cards in the meantime. Because it's like turn 4 Elton, turn 5 if they play something I can clash, and then I have Fateful Ascent as an option in case I don't need to clash to, like, leave up. Okay, I want to use all my cards most efficiently. That means using Elton on to kill this. Resolves. Lay Pillar. Does that change my opinion? Is them picking up Lay Pillar more valuable? I should see what Lay Pillar does first. Am I Fateful Ascenting the Vows Reflection here? Basically, it's discard 2. It stops them from drawing 2 cards, but they get a chart token. Also, they haven't played a land this turn. And they're short on lands. Okay, this is a choice. Fateful Ascent, Vows Reflection, or don't. Or crack chart token is the other option. They get to pick up Lay Pillar. No, like Fateful Ascent is if I Fateful Ascent here, I prevent them from drawing 2 cards plus getting a Lay Pillar trigger because they're gonna get one this turn, and they're gonna get one next turn before I can Elton on. And it's not Huskforger anymore; it's Lay Pillar, so that effectively draws them like 3 cards. And in 3 cards, they probably find something have to Fateful Ascent anyways. So, in summary, I have to do things this way. Elton on can be a big Elton on this game. Have to navigate this really precisely. Tap land go. There's no way I can spend more than 2 mana this turn. Does it matter which tap land? Lucent Basin. Go. They're short on lands. That's something I'm fairly certain of. Right? Because Kainok's Lay Pillar choice, land or another Kainok's Lay Pillar, they chose land. That indicates they're short on lands. They possibly don't even have a 4th green source for Aurora here. Although they certainly could, and then I could overrule it. Versus Majora. Don't enormously care. I guess it cycles. They got a basic. It doesn't even trample. I think it's just a little annoying. They're on 5 mana. These cost 7. Doesn't look like they got a basic in hand. They would have put it down. It's not like they can have 2 different types of basics in hand. That's their one of mountain. So now they're sitting here with 3 mana available. They got chart token, so they always have options. Temple. Makes sense. Hit me with Huskforger. Okay. Seafloor. I already have land number 5. It's 2 different lands. I guess I'll take the white-blue land. This goes to graveyard. Remember, I have a seafloor treasure available. Fateful Ascent. Excellent. Well, I can Elton on X equals 2, but that's never useful. Okay, next turn, they could play untapped land and then put an Aurora through an Overrule slot, that would be annoying. How's their land count in Graveyard? Ooh, it's 3 in Graveyard. Okay, that's pretty bad. I can't do anything about that. This is just shock in land, leave up Overrule slot, leave up Fateful Scent, leave up Chart. Yep. Yeah, it sure is. If they go for Warden of Tremors, I have the counter. If they have untapped land plus a roar, then they don't. But they're going to have a land because they're going to crack this chart on the end of turn. Yeah, they're going to crack this chart. So a roar is a problem here. Portal, Warden, good. Forest, okay. So they have the if they have, they do have to land first, but they can go land, a roar, 2 mana up, and then I can't counter it. Two, three, four, five. They can also land Ursus Majora, but that seems like there's no way that's their play. Absolutely no way. That I might just clash. Okay, they have a forest in hand. I know about forest in hand. Is a roar? No. No, it's Ursus. What? Really? I actually just think about this because I have so many answers to it. I could Fateful Ascent it, I could untap and clash it, or I could Overrule Sod it. Uh, like I, hmm. On one hand, I do want to build Overrule Sod before they have so much mana that it becomes dead, which is becoming. No, next turn they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if I clash next turn, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're going to have 8 mana soon, and then Overrule Sod's never going to hit anything. So use it while it works. This is excellent news. Not milling anything of value, but I didn't really want to draw that over Rule Thought. C4 Treasures is now online. And that's all the game actions they get to take this turn. So. Chart for Lakefront. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. That's a... Wow, and another one too, and I have a C4 Treasures in the graveyard? Amazing. Yeah, just pass. If they play Ursus, now I'm probably on Clash. Maybe. I want to get... I need enough lands that if case things go bad, I can Elton on problems in case I tap out for Clash. Okay, I could Lakefront this. Or I could just let it resolve. It's not like it does much. Okay. I could Lakefront it, or I could not Lakefront it. So the one threat I really care about here is Aurora. Aurora I really want to Lakefront. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Because Aurora's going to ramp them a ton. Although at this point, their limiting factor is not ramp. I want to use Clash because it's a less convenient answer than Lakefront. But I also want to spend my mana. I can also Fateful Ascent this Ursus. That's the most mana efficient play because it lets me also C4 treasures. But I like having Fateful Ascent in hand so I can like. The thing is like none of their threats I need to deal with on their turn. I can always let them play their threat and then go to my turn and then deal with it. Unless I need to answer it with a counterspell. I've been thinking a lot this game, but it's a lot of important decisions that are not to be taken lightly. How do I win this game? I win this game by finding one of my threats. That's basically one of the battles. or like defeating. I could, or like burning this Clash or something, and then keeping them off all their threats with my 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 like hard answers in hand for their ramp payoffs. So I could also seafloor traders, and if I hit something I want to play next turn, then I clash. Like Earth Majora, I just don't care about. I don't want to spend Silent Lakefront, a good card, on Earth Majora, a bad card. But also, I might want to Elton on for like 5, and then I want to do that after before I clash, because Clash is currently how I'm winning this game. I'm hitting my land drops. I think I seafloor. I think I legit don't care about this. I seafloor, next turn Clash. If they go Warden of Tremors, if they go Aurora, that's annoying. But they get Arden Rise, so they don't get any fixing, it's just ramp. Yeah, Aurora's not even that bad. Honestly, Aurora's not even that bad. And I have Eltonons and Fateful Ascents. Well, mostly Fateful Ascents here. Yeah. Well, Clarion clearly doesn't do anything here, so it's Lakefront. Oh, they could also level up Huskforger at some point. That's a good reason to clash. Lakefront to hand, Clarion to graveyard, this to exile. Resolves. I don't care. I really just don't care. Tap Primal Fissure? Good to know they have... Maybe they weren't short on lands. Ooh, Path of Scales. Path of Scales is really good. Okay, this turn I have to clash. That clears up Huskforger, which could become a threat. Earth Majora, which is kind of a threat. Now they can resolve something. But once again, none of their threats are like that impactful the turn they play them. Even Warden of Tremors, they can play like one extra card, but not another big threat at this point. And if you kill Warden of Tremors, all the stuff all of its stuff goes away. I do actually want an untapped land here, which is funny. I probably should have played one of the lakefronts, as good as they are. No, that's actually true. I should have played a lakefront, so I have 7 mana next turn for hold up Silent Lakefront plus cast Fateful Ascent. Aurora? This is Aurora. Okay. The fact that Ardent Rise prevents them from like setting up their future draws with this, and it's just ramp, is actually kind of hugely relevant here. But yeah, Fateful Ascent plus Silent Lakefront is kind of what I want to do next turn. So I should have played one of the lakefronts. They bin a bunch of lands, they get back a bunch of stuff, they shuffle their library. They're going to get all the lands out of the library, or a lot of them, with this. Well, not true, just the basics, right? They can only fetch 2 more lands with all these fetch lands because they have only 2 more basics in their entire deck. That's 5 of their 7 basics. So they can't sin their deck actually that much. There's still like a bunch of Urban Jungles, Temple of Origins, Warpway. There's the one Warpway Rings in there. Yeah, I need untap land. I should have played Silent Link for that. Was actually a big misplay last turn. I can Path of Scales hope to draw one? Maybe. Okay, if I draw an untapped land, Ascent, leave up Lakefront. If I don't, probably Path of Scales plus Ascent. And if they have another threat, it's not that big a deal. I'm at 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These don't all tap for mana. So Terminal is the card I'm afraid of. They only have 2 terminal impact in their entire deck. So they're... And they can't kill me with just 1 terminal yet. Ooh, that's their last basic. These Primal Fissures can't get anything anymore. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Okay, 12. But these aren't lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They actually have 9 mana here. These Primal Fissures don't do anything. Bloom. Okay. What is that naming? I can Elton on that if it ever becomes a problem. Passive Scales? Use Passive Scales. Okay, well that makes my decisions a little easier. Oh, that makes my decisions much easier. Okay, this is just Fateful Ascent, leave up Silent Lakefront. And we are just in the burn spell for Clash at Orthcross waiting room. Do this now before they get a portal or something nonsense. They only got 2 cards in hand. They know about one of these 3 Silent Lakefronts in my hand. I will Elton on X equals 2 just to kill Golden Bloom. That's a worthwhile use of my time. I don't have anything relevant in my graveyard anymore. Okay. Bad things could still happen to me, but mainly terminal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2 terminals is 18. Silent Lakefront can barely keep me alive, but it's not pretty. Rather get an Ukus for the life gain, or Offset Demon honestly would be amazing here. Cracks chart. Okay. Finds Temple. Okay. 4 cards in hand. One of them is Temple of Origins, but they're probably going to play right now. Best possible draw? I think it is Ukus, actually. Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could use Ring to make their big guys uncounterable. Might actually have to kill that. Might actually have to counter that, which is annoying. 1, 2, because yeah, they already play a land this turn, so if I counter this, they can't actually play Warden, which is the card I'd be scared of. So it is Silent Lakefront. I do want to get these out of my hand. They could play another Aurora right now. That would be medium annoying. Not even that annoying. Aurora's just a 5/5 at this point. Not that I don't not that I care not that I don't care about 5/5s, but Discern. Okay, now here's the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do want to move to Silent Lakefront, which means I have 2 mana to play with. Which is not that much. I'm going to Discern first. Stargazing. I guess I'll just Stargaze. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to get a 9 mana so I can Elton on, leave up Silent Lakefront, or find some other more efficient answer or burn spell. Stargazing. View my top 1 card. Offset. Ooh. I think I keep that. And then what do I discard? Do I just discard Path? No, that can't be. That's ridiculous. I think I just let the Stargazing go. Do I play Silent Lakefront? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now more interesting decisions. Offset Demon can start punching down Clash. Clash they can never ever remove. Their 1 Golden Bloom is on the battlefield and they have no more ways of interacting with battles. And Clash is going to become a problem pretty quickly for them. 2, 3, 4. I think I take off that demon and play a Lakefront. Do I discard Passive Scales? Is that where we are right now? Honestly? That might be where we are. Don't forget I have Discern in my graveyard. I definitely want to keep this. The question is, do I discard Do I let Stargaze and go, or do I discard Path of Scales? Or Eltanon? No, it's gotta be, no, obviously it's not Eltanon. Because, like, I have to form on Eltanon and then form on a Path of Scales, and it's so much harder than just... Huh. Yeah, you know what? It's a weird situation. Keep that. Draw a card. Discard Path of Scales. Return this to hand. Play Silent Lakefront. Go get Island. Pass turn. Leave up silent. Leave up another Silent Lakefront. One, two, three, four, five, six. Because now if I have 9 mana, I can play Offset Demon, attack Clash, leave up Silent Lakefront. Or if I Silent Lakefront one threat this turn, I can Offset Demon and just hope they don't have another threat and or find an answer to it. My other Clash is in the graveyard. My both Fateful Ascents are gone. So in terms of answers to big things, I'm slightly short. I got one Eltanon, which if I in emergency case I can Eltanon for a very large number, but that kills my Offset Demon. Why are they? They have no instance. What are you doing? You have no instance. It's your turn. Okay. They don't have as much mana as they think, because these Primal Fissures don't actually do anything. 10 mana. Worst case scenario, they have another ring into another Warden? But no, if they had another ring, they'd have played it last turn. Terminal. Terminal for 10? Interesting. So I could Lakefront here just for the 3 life. This is going to put me to 8. Next turn, Offset Demon puts me up to 11. So they would need untapped land to actually kill me with second terminal. Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to be able to leave up Lakefront next turn on account of I'm priced into Offset Demon. So this is just gain the life, puts me out of range of the second But I do want to have this later, and I could draw an untapped land. Okay, they do 10 down to 8. I Offset Demon back up to 11. They would need to have, because, like, clearly if they had a land, they could have a land this turn, but a tapped one. I don't know about any lands in their hand. They got 2 cards in hand. What's in their hand? Other terminal impact could easily be in their hand. Look at their graveyard. They have 2 Ardent Rise in their graveyard, so there's one more Ardent Rise, which doesn't do anything. There's one more Primal Fissure that doesn't do anything. There's one more Warplay Rings that doesn't do anything. There are 2 more Temples. If it's a Temple this turn, they have 11 next turn. If it's a Urban Jungle, then... So am I willing to bet it on them not having the untapped land? Do I think they have it? What are... I think they could. There's a lot of dead cards they could have. They could have like random root fossils, malfunctioning portals, um, wardens they don't want to cast here. If I'm not using the Silent Link for this, what is it getting me? Next turn's Offset Demon. Because the next turn I'm going to leave my shields down, because I have to play Offset Demon. Okay, if I keep it in hand for the out of draw untapped land, which I do actually have a decent, but it have to be untapped non-basic, untapped basic land, right? Can't be a shock land. How many of those do I have left? None in graveyard. 1, 2, 3. I have 6 basics in my deck. So 3 basics. It's only 3 basics this is for? No. Yeah, this is actually the play. Okay. That's all my silence gone. Yeah, Fissure has no targets, which I know about. I'm going to offset Demon. I'm going to cast Stargazing and Chart this turn, so I should do that first before making any more decisions. I could draw... I'm actually running out of good things to draw here, but I could. Chart first. Chart first. Draw Misty Peak. Make chart. Stargaze. View my top card. Another Elton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can just start casting Eltonons. Well, I don't need two of them, right? That's clearly not useful to me. The second Elton doesn't do anything. Right? Wait a minute. I'm formulating a plan here. Crack chart in case it's like Rousing Path. Play a tap lands this turn. And offset Demon. Next turn, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 from the chart. Cast Eltonon. They can't do anything. They have no instance. Go to my turn. Cast Eltonon again. Draw. Stargazing to graveyard. Very specific lines here. Crack chart. Shock. Golden Bloom of the Silenced. Golden Bloom of the Silence. Offset Demon. Electronic Countermeasures. Path is... Oh my god, where is it? Misty Peak. Tapped Misty Peak. Offset Demon. Hold your horses. Game's not lasting much longer. Next turn. Put it on next turn program. Do I want to attack Clash instead? No. I do want to attack them. Wait, no, sorry. If you were at 15, that'd be easy, because then I have lethal with the Elton on next turn. In that case, it's gotta be Clash, right? It's gotta be Clash. Because wait, is it 15 or 18 different? Elton on? No, it's not. Okay. Even if they play a Warden of Tremors, I don't think that does anything here. Warden of Tremors doesn't do anything. Warden of Tremors doesn't have trample. It can't attack through my 1/1 soldier. And they have literally no instance. They have one Ardent Rise as potential removal, so I need 2 blockers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shock and Misty Peak. Where's this? Okay. I extremely don't care. Oh, Ursus has Trample. That is annoying. I don't like that. Okay. Or it could gain Trample if they had a land, which they're certainly not guaranteed to have. Okay, now I think there's got to be a mathematical way. I've had this assert in my graveyard for a while that I have not cast, but it's okay. Okay. Misty Peak. Wait, no, Eltonon can just block this thing. Right, it's a 9/9. It's not like they can cast a combat trick or anything. Yeah. Misty Peak. Shock it in. Hardcast. Attack you. Okay, if they land to make this... If they have... Let me read the text on Ardent Rise. It's actually relevant here. +2/+0. They need land to make this a 9/9. Then Ardent Rise can kill Eltanon. Okay, the only play they can make for the rest of the game is Ardent Rise. So I need to make sure I'm not dead. I don't leave myself where I don't kill them through Ardent Rise. Oh, and I should have another soldier. I think the noose is tight around their neck. I don't think. Ha 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 ha! Ah, they frown but that makes it a 9/9. Do they have Ardent Rise? Well, if they have Ardent Rise, it kills this either way, and there's nothing else they can do that matters. They can't put a land into play at instant speed. Block. It's gonna quickly go through your deck. There's nothing they can do. They have no instance in the sideboard. The only activated ability they could activate is Ardent Rise, which they could have done pre-combat. No, it's block. Block. I think they still die through Ardent Rise. With Ardent Rise. No, I'm not scared. It is Ardent Rise. It is. Okay. That's fine, right? But they could have done this pre-combat for the same effect, so blocking was just correct here. Should I block the soldiers? No. No, I shouldn't. That's the last one. So now I'm safe. Take 11 trample. But even though this survives, it can't get through my Eltanon next turn. Because that's the last Ardent Rise. And I can hit them for 5. Or leave back like here. Okay. Seafloor. Okay, big question. That's a no. Okay, that's right. Because like when I Eltanon, they literally cannot do anything else. They could play a land to make this a 9/9. They cannot cast any spells. They have no instance. That's the last. There are 3 Ardent Rises. That's the number they have. They don't have any more in the sideboard. So they can't do anything else for the rest of the game. I play Eltanon. I block the 9/9. Um, and then I kill them in the air following turn. Let's keep the 1/1s in case some kind of bizarre miracle happens. Attack them. Oh, this is on program B, not that it matters. End step, make token. I don't believe they have outs. They have no Ardent Rises left. They have no way of getting them back to their hand. They can't cast any spells. They can't put 2 lands into play to make Ursus Majora an 11/11. They're dead. Now I block. They have no way of I have nothing to fear here. There's 3 in the graveyard. What is 2-0 lead! It doesn't happen to me all that often. That was an interesting series of games where I found some of the unusual lines this deck can take, including the Offset Demon Beatdown plan and the Double Eltonon Prison endgame. The curse is lifted. We've defeated Lee! And in some very interesting, weird games. Well, I'm quite proud of those. Well, 2-0. One more win puts us into top cut. We're where we love to be. They had the terminal, too. Yeah, I suspected they had second terminal in hand. Yeah, interesting deck. But glad not to have to face it again in Swiss, at least. Thanks for watching, and good night.